Again, this is the the Cal Cat Show blog, doing a movie review, the 2010 movies review, including the winners of the Clara Awards, which is our local Cal Cat version of the awards show. It is named for one of our cats from years ago when I was a kid. She was the first official cat. So the Clara Awards would be essentially a gold cat. There never was a gold cat, though. The closest they ever got was a picture of a cat framed in gold. The Clara Awards is basically an award show in which we rate the best movies of the year. Now it's 2010, it's just ending. We don't do like the Oscars do. It's Cal Cat and Mark's Cards. We discussed it. I discussed it with Mark's Cards on Thursday. And, so we discussed basically the potential winners and the winners of the Clara Awards. And that there were very few best actresses in the category. There were a lot of actors, but very few actresses and supporting actresses. This is because Cal Cat did not see a lot of dramas this year. And the ones that he did, the actors were okay, but the actresses they didn't stand out like last year when clearly Meryl Streep should have won for that movie Julie and Julia, which we did see. I'm going to read off the movies of the year. The categories are arranged in terms of genre, so that fantasy sci-fi is one thing, horror or thriller is one thing, action adventure is another thing, drama is another, and comedy is another. Overall picture of the year is whatever. Animated film or animated feature is another. So we get the best picture in any one of those categories, which makes it a lot cooler. The Oscars still don't have it right because they're like 10 movies are going to get it. They never really pay attention to fantasy films and sci-fi because there's not as much acting and drama in those. However, I think that some of the drama scenes that were in Toy Story 3 were actually better than most of the drama that came out this year. Toy Story 3 is one of the contenders for Picture of the Year and Animated Picture. So let's read them off. Let's see. The next is Shutter Island, which will probably not get an Oscar. It was Leo DiCaprio, and he was in this film, and this was a thriller or a drama, and Martin Scorsese directed it. February 2010. Nomination possible Best Picture of the Year, Best Drama, Best Director Martin Scorsese. These are nominations. Next one is an animated fantasy film called How to Tame Your Dragon, with Jonah Hill in it. Your director was Dean DeBluss and Chris Sanders. Animated film, possible nom animated film. Next one is a drama, teen drama called The Last Song, directed by Julianne Robinson. So it did have some good character development because it was a woman director. They usually do better with that. So then men tend to do their stuff like, whoa, let's have some explosions. So The Last Song, starring Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. Possible nom, worst idea for a story. Sappiest love song, and worst of the Disney starlet career. Most ironic title. I think it's probably going to get most ironic title because, after this movie, that's the end of her career. So on to the next thing. We're just doing nominations. Next movie is a action adventure called Kick-Ass. Adapted, So next is Kick-Ass. The director was Matthew Vaughn, starring Aaron Johnson and Nicolas Cage and Chloe Moretz. I actually said, Chloe Moretz didn't do half bad at this. I might get the actress. Nicolas Cage didn't do half bad either. And Aaron Johnson did all right. April 2010. Possible noms: Best Action Movie, Best Original Comic Book Adaptation, Best Ensemble Cast in Action. All right. Story. And that was for Kick-Ass. Possible noms for action nominee and adapted screenplay. Then we come out with a weird little sci-fi movie Came out in June 2010 as well. Called Splice, science fiction movie. Directed by Vincenzo Natali. Starring Adrian Brody and Sarah Polley. And this actress who played... I don't know who... This isn't really an official movie review site, so I have no idea who the chick is. But this chick played the alien. And, possible nom, best special effects, sci-fi thriller action. Next on the list, we'll come to another nod. The Karate Kid, the Kung Fu Kid, Karate Kid 5. Call it, because it really is part 5. With a new kid and a new cast. Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith. That would be, that'd be, Will Smith's kid. That's right. Will Smith's kid, and, he is now... if we know how we got into Hollywood, his daddy. But yeah, that's how Miley did it too. His dad, her daddy. Possible nom for action picture. Possible, looks like, actor for Jaden Smith. Best adaptation or sequel, possibly. Next we have Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3. Curiosity, how many people know who directed Toy Story series? Somebody put a thing up there saying, who directed that? Actually, that was a guy named Lee Unkrich. Directed that. All 3 of them. And that's Pixar. Pixar Disney. Tom Hanks and Tim Allen are in it. And the guy from Cheers. So, we have June 2010. Possible nominations: Best Picture of the Year, Best Animated Picture, Best Sequel, Best Vocal Actor, Voice Acting for Hanks and Tim Allen, Best Animated Film, Best Film in a Fantasy category as well. It's got like 4 or 5 noms, so it's bound to get one of those. Let's go on to the next one. Next one is actually the antithesis of the other ones. It's called Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you've seen the cartoon, the whimsical, fun, like pseudo-Asian Nickelodeon cartoon, you'll notice that M. Night Shyamalan's version, is completely a different film. Mark's Cards and I could not imagine how he could have completely blew it. Got this movie so completely wrong. It's amazing how wrong it is. It's just... Okay, he got some of the character names kind of right. I got some of the places kind of right. But everything else is all washed out in 3D and dark and gloomy. The kid runs around acting like Anakin Skywalker, going, and they keep calling him Aang. It's Ong. It was the worst. And here's what it gets. Possible nomination for Worst Picture of the Year, Worst Animated Picture of the Year, Worst Adaptation of Cartoon or TV Series of the Year, and Worst Director, and possibly Worst Casting, which goes with bad acting, so bad chemistry casting. So they just, yeah. Then we come to a movie from July, the summer. I don't know why the Academy kind of ignores the summer. The summer is when the best movies are, actually. And yes, there are an awful lot of action pictures here. Yes, action pictures. Okay, the next one is Inception, an action drama. It's more of a drama with action in it. That was Christopher Nolan, who directed the Batman movies, the new ones, that are really dark and sardonic. So, of course, his dark and sardonic twisted world in Inception is a nomination for Best Picture of the Year. Might be the Academy's choice too, but probably not because it's a July movie and they don't remember the summer at all. Christopher Nolan, okay. Best Director nom, Best Actor Leonardo DiCaprio. He's already got a nod for the other movie too, Shutter Island. And next we come to another one for fantasy and comedy. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Based on a comic book, so it gets a comic book adaptation and possible best comedy, drama, gamer type of movie, based on a comic book called Scott Pilgrim Saves the World and subsequent sequels. It was interesting, a strange little movie, so why not? All right. And that's a nod. Director was Edgar Wright. And that stars Michael Cera as well. And Elizabeth Winston. Next is Resident Evil 4, which Mark Scars did not see, but I saw it, and Jim Buffkin, other co-star on the show, saw it. And he liked it because, it's got boobies in it and chicks beat up stuff and blow things up. I didn't really care for it. As a video game adaptation, I gave it worst adaptation because they haven't done any of these sequels right. And Resident Evil Afterlife is no exception. Now they're in LA fighting the zombies. Zombies are cool, but this idea is not. Director Paul S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich, who should be the next Wonder Woman. If they do a Wonder Woman movie, she should be Wonder Woman. Because at this point, Angelina is too old to play Wonder Woman. Sorry, Angelina Jolie, you're too old. All right, let's see. Next we have Easy A. That other one was worse. Next we have Easy A for comedy. Came in September, had Emma Stone and a cameo by Amanda Bynes in it. Guest star by Amanda Bynes. And of course, we always plug Amanda Bynes in our stuff because of the Wolf 97.7 that we did the thing for. So Amanda Bynes is always in there. So I went to the Amanda Bynes movie, and so Easy A gets directed by Will Gluck. Never really heard of him at all. I think he did a lot of Disney Nick or something. I could have looked it up, but I didn't. And comedy, possibly in the comedy category. So let's go on to the next one. Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'ul. The book series is both juvenile, of course, so it's for kids, but it kind of talks down to them a little bit. I care for it. Mark's Cards would also agree with that. The rating's not that great, but that's all right. The movie version is actually better than the books. Legend of the Guardians. Legend of the Guardians, Owl Gal, it's about animated owls flying around, CG-like, 3D. Nomination for adaptation of a children's book or animated movie. Next we have The Social Network, the Facebook movie. Drama for director David Fisher, and we got Jesse Eisenberg in that one, who is our Michael Cera lookalike and should play his evil twin in a movie. And actor, best adaptive novel and drama, possible not. And then we come to a fun movie, which is probably going to get best comedy. It's not nominated for best comedy, best ensemble cast, and whatnot. Jackass 3D. Jackass 3, 3D, number 3. Comedy action director Jeff Tremaine, and October 2010. And possible best movie of the year, possible best comedy, because our standards for this one were obviously lowering the bar because it is a movie about stunts and poo, and poo jokes and fart jokes and characters hurting each other that are over 30, which is always hilarious, and laughing about it. The crazy glue scene is hilarious. The poo slingshot scene is absolutely insane. They put a porta potty at the slingshot, shoot it. Oh, jeez. So yeah, and of course the Karen O song, "You Gotta Be Dumb, You Gotta Be Tough," rehash of that song from Roger Allen Wade is also fun, but especially when she screws up in the song and can't say one of the lines right. Just leave it in. We don't care. So, that was fun. Jackass 3, the contender for everything. And then we come to a movie called Unstoppable, I just saw a couple of weeks ago. And Unstoppable is it's about the train. I haven't been reviewing the movies because I figure you've seen them. I'm just saying which ones are nominated. Unstoppable is an action movie directed by Tony Scott. Is he related to Ridley? He might be. Maybe. Maybe. A possible nom for Best Thriller, Movie, and Actor for Denzel Washington or Chris Pine. Maybe. Okay, the next one is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. We're partial to the Harry Potter movies. Liked them ever since they came out. Even the Chris Columbus ones. Those two of which Mark's Cards is all. The first one was kind of stupid. but yeah, the movies have been fair adaptations of the books. The books are so rich with all kinds of other stuff, and it's kind of hard to put all the books in it. So for the last book, they split it into 2 movies. It's part of the reason we can't give it Best Picture, because it is half a movie. It's the first act and half of the second act, and not really the third. So, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and it is 2.5 hours. And there's David Yates again, but he's doing better. David Yates directing. Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson, and Robbie Coltrane. Emma Watson is of no relation to Valley Story star Colleen Watson. Just, they're not related. Yeah. Anyway, so let's see. Possible November movie, so the Academy might notice it for special effects or something. Possible noms. Note that this movie is an incomplete movie. I just mentioned that. Fantasy adaptation of adapted screenplay. That's what I might get. Maybe Emma Watson might get actress. Rupert Grint. The cast in general did well. So, next we come to another movie called Tangled. Tangled is Rapunzel, basically, a Disney update, hip version of Rapunzel. Unfortunately, that could be a bad idea, but fortunately it works. Could have been a bad idea, but it works. Animated adventure, directing by David Greeno and Brian Howard. Possibly Ron Howard's relative. Nepotism in Hollywood. Maybe. And starring Kristen Chenoweth. Possible nods, voice acting, and animated CG hair. Best hair. There's actually an Academy Award for that. Hair. Best hair. Let's add to this list True Grit for Best Actor and Actress and Film of the Year. Alright. The winners of the 2010 Clara Awards. Actually, let's not do it that way. Let's start with the worst first, then go to the best. Okay, worst movie of the year. Worst movie of the year. The winner is... Worst movie of the year. The winner is M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar: The Last Airbender. Worst movie of the year. Ugh. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Worst movie of the year. There we go. Worst adaptation of a comedy movie or adaptation of video game or any kind of literary adaptation to screen of the year. Or that would also mean TV as well. M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender. It's a shoo-in. I mean, it sucked. It just sucked. Okay, let's see what's next. Best Supporting Actor in a Film. Best Supporting Actress in a Film. In the general category, all the way down. Best Supporting Actress category. Best Supporting Actress will be Chloe Moretz of Kick-Ass. Oddly enough, in that category, which is fantasy video game adventure. Best Supporting Actress or Actress, whereas Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy, Amanda Bynes. Okay. Denzel Washington has won for Unstoppable for Best Supporting Actor in an action movie. Or Best Animated Movie of the Year. Best Animated Cartoon Movie of the Year. Toy Story 3. It's a shoe-in. We're going to win. Toy Story 3. Best adaptation of a novel or pre-existing story adaptation film from this list. That includes action and video games and whatnot. Ooh, it's a tie. We got here Kick-Ass the movie for adaptation of action, or that kind of deal. We couldn't give it to the Harry Potter movie because it's only 1/2. And we got another one, Kick-Ass, and we got The Social Network, which is based on a book as well. Social Network. Got that for overall of the year for that particular genre, for adaptive screenplay, basically. Yeah, well, that's that one. So next we have Best Comedy of the Year. Because Kick-Ass really wasn't a comedy, it was sort of a sarcastic. Easy A won comedy. Comedy, Easy A. Some people would argue, oh, there's lots of other funnier comedies than that. Ooh. But I just thought in terms of it being original, it was probably the best one. I mean, if there were, it should be a tie. That's what I'm going to do. It should be a tie. Like that one year that the guy read the wrong Oscar, it's a tie. But for overall laughs, no, actually, it's like, yeah, it's a tie. Jackass 3 should have won at least some of that, so they could share it. Jackass 3. Because that was really funnier than Easy A. A lot funnier. But it was gross out funnier. Whereas Easy A was more of a ooh, taboo, sort of like, faux taboo thing going on. That was funnier. For teen comedy, such as it is. And then we have Best Actor of the Year. Best Actor. Best Supporting Actor was... that's right. Best Actor. Best Actress. Did we do Best Actor yet? Best Actor would be... yeah. True Grit was late. I don't know if that was... I don't know if he'd get Best Actor for that again. Jeff Bridges. But I guess he would. Okay, True Grit... Jeff Bridges gets it again for drama. For action, adventure, or fantasy film, Daniel Radcliffe. Harry Potter the movie. Harry Potter. We could get an actor not for that. Oh, and then we got the drama, and we got that. Now for thriller or horror movie, then I can go out with the other bizarre stuff. I can put the Nolan one, the other one in there. And I choose to do the latter. The Scorsese movie. Leo DiCaprio for the Scorsese movie. That was called Shutter Island. Best Actor. In that category. Now there's the Best Actor of the Year. He could get that too. That'd be weird. Well, let's see. Okay, next. Next we have Best Horror Movie of the Year. Best Horror Movie of the Year. Which would go under thriller as well. Really? Now, Shutter Island is a good movie, but it's not Best Picture of the Year. It's Best Horror Movie of the Year. Shutter Island, Best Horror Movie of the Year. Okay, that makes sense. Now we have, let's see, Best Director in a Comedy. Jeff Tremaine, Jackass 3. Best Director in an Action, Fantasy / Weirdness movie. Lee. Best Director in a fantasy film or animated film. Lee Unkrich, the director of Toy Story 3. Best Director in a thriller. Martin Scorsese for Shutter Island. Alright. Best Director of the Year. You gotta give it to these two people, because this movie was truly an awesome movie, and the Oscars are probably gonna like it too. The Coen brothers, who directed True Grit. Best Directors of the Year. Coen brothers. And we already said animated movie won Toy Story 3, and special effects, Toy Story 3. Well, probably that one too, yeah. So, Worst Director of the Year. M. Night Shyamalan for Avatar: The Last Airbender. What a piece of crap that movie is, man. Yes, best hair, Tangled. Animated hair. That just sounds weird. Best animated hair. Most ironic title, The Last Song. Most ironic title goes to The Last Song. Finally, best picture of the year. Best picture of 2010. From the movies that we saw. From the 12 movies that we saw. It was a tough one to decide best picture of the year. Because also Inception was pretty cool too. But we had this like three-way split going on. Toy Story 3, Inception, or this one. And as a trippy movie of the year, that most personified of the year. And then there's The Social Network, which certainly should get a nod for most interesting, if dramatic portrayal of the Facebook guy, even if he didn't like it. Mark Zuckerberg didn't like it too much. Well, I'd say we're going to have to split it. Because unlike the Oscars, they would never split it. We're going to have to split it. Because, really, on one end you've got awesome fantasy adventure of some kind. And they never rate that. And on the other hand, you've got gritty drama with cowboys in it. And Hollywood loves that stuff. Cowboys and the mob. Or mental illness. They like that too. So, we had to split it. The winner of the Best Picture of the Year. The winners of the Best Picture of the Year. Toy Story 3 and True Grit. The two best pictures of the year. Because we can't split them. They're just... Toy Story 3 has the emotional content. What's really interesting about this, like Up, the year before with Pixar's other movie, it had an emotional resonance that starts from the first page of the story. Just like the cowboy movie did. With the whole, ooh, the father guy dies and all that stuff. And the whole, like ooh, the way they narrated the cowboy movie and pulled you into it. Same thing with Toy Story 3, which really pulls you into the cartoon world and says, this is going to really suck for these guys, even though they're anthropomorphized toys. It's going to suck for them that Andy has grown up and he's moving away to college. Then that whole thing, like a little video blog going on. and that whole resonance of that. Like, oh my gosh, it's over. It's like, man, how did they do that? It's like, wow, that whole, gives you just a good feeling of it, the tingle, that should get in the back of your spine, whatever. When something's really cool. And actually, if the movie makes you tear up in the middle of it, there's something's working. But, the cowboy movie didn't do that. So yeah, Toy Story 3, and the other one. Of course, comedy of the year is Jackass 3, which was a tie with Easy A. But, Clara Awards can get away with that. Funny thing is, these movies aren't going to get any royalties for the Clara Award. The Clara Award doesn't present any money. It's non-profit. And, so we just give them a Clara Award. Well, not really. We just say we're going to. There is no actual award. The Clara Award. So there you go. That's the Clara Awards. I hope you enjoyed this Clara Awards edition of the Cal Cat Show. Live, blog, thingy, and can do something with it. I'm not sure what you can do with it. I have to. Now I suspect True Grit will win Best Picture and he will get the Oscar nom for Oscar. That Toy Story 3 will be nominated for Best Picture, just won't get it. Because Oscar will, no, we can't give it to an animated fantasy film. That would be wrong.